And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's La Viviana live stream. And tonight's topic is Agile Product Owner, Leading versus Managing. So thank you for finding some time this evening to join our live discussion. Please make sure to introduce yourselves in the comments. Let us know what you do and join our conversation with your comments and questions. So if you're new to my live stream, I'm Jana Martins, and I've recently started my journey as an IT recruiter. So hence I've started a new YouTube channel dedicated to IT career in Australia. So tonight we are going to talk about Agile Product Owner, Leading versus Managing, and Pete is going to share his valuable insight and real life experience when it comes to product owner role in the team. So, is the world changing? I'm sure a few of you have been thinking, what's next? What do I need to do to boost my career potentials? So make sure tag your friends who are interested in hearing about product owner roles, and make sure to share this video with them. And before I pass it on to Pete to introduce himself, I want to remind you that we're going live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So to watch replays, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, IT Career in Australia. And I'm going live there every Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Melbourne time, with various experts from my network. And we're talking about all things around IT career, job search, and specifics of IT industry in Australia. So please don't be shy. Ask us as many questions as you want, but please make sure to stay on the topic. We're going to try to answer all your questions during this live stream. And if any questions will be left later, so I'm sure we can reach out and answer those questions after as well. So that's, I guess, enough of me. I'm just gonna pass it on to Pete to introduce himself. Thank you.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you so much for having me on your show. My name is Pete Omotosho, and I am an enterprise agile coach with Energy Australia. I also have my consulting firm, Pete Loring Consulting, where I do everything around agile and strategy. And I will say I'm just very pleased to be here today and then having a chat with you, Yana. So simple.
Thank you, Pete. We have few people joining us. Prasanna saying, I'm Prasanna, technical business analyst by profession and passionate about project management. Alex here as well. Hager's looking forward to a session. Guys, make sure, say hi. It's always nice to see that people, joining, not just, we're not only talking with the crickets. And also let us know if any of you actually product owners at the moment, or maybe you want to become a product owner. Maybe, you're exploring at the moment, your career path. Maybe you want to move to like a product owner position from Scrum Master or like a BA or whatever your career path might be. So please share it with us. Andrew saying, Pete, good to see you. Hope you're well. So thank you for saying hi, Andrew. So again, let's. Is it one of your friends, Pete?
Yeah, we work together at Testra. Andrew is one person that I so much respect. I learned a lot of tricks of the trade from Andrew. So it's good to see you, Andrew. Definitely I'll connect with you after.
Maybe Andrew needs to be a guest of my live stream next time.
Oh, he's a wonderful, wonderful person. You'll really need to bring him on this show.
Here we go, Andrews. Pressure's on. So Alex is saying, I'm technical business analyst and I'm aspiring product owner. Great to know. Daminola, hi guys, good to be here. So I'm in confusion between project management and product management. We used to get some guidelines here. So that's a good question as well. I'm to be honest, like as I mentioned, I start my IT recruitment just like in the last 3 months, and I'm still in confusion between all these roles, because what I find really interesting that in every organization, people describe it quite differently as well. And
Yep.
some organizations call themselves agile, some not, some trying to be agile. And, sometimes titles just get like all mixed up. So hopefully Pete will give us a bit of a clarity today around product owner position. And I guess the first question is, who is product owner, Pete? Like, what's the definition?
Okay, let me first of all start by saying that a product owner is a Scrum role. It is a Scrum role. So, under the big umbrella of Agile, there are so many frameworks, right? And out of those frameworks, there is one of them, which is the Scrum. Now, Scrum Guide is that book that actually talks about what you need to know about Scrum. Now, what is the product owner role in the Scrum Guide? And you can see on the screen right now, this is just something that is from the Scrum Guide. The Scrum team consists of one Scrum Master, one product owner, and of course, the developers, which means Scrum really looks at just three roles: the product owner role, the Scrum Master role, and of course, the developers. The developers will be more than one person, which means everybody that rolls up his sleeves to get the work done is a developer. Now, one of those roles obviously is product owner. With a product owner, it doesn't mean he's the leader or he is the manager of the team. It means he is one of the cross-functional team members that brings his skills to the table so that everybody within the team can, be self-managing, can be self-organizing, so that all of them can definitely meet the goal. However, it is the product owner has a special skill because he knows the vision. He brings the vision to the team, to the Scrum team. And then from that vision, the Scrum team will help him to really get or to navigate how they are going to get to the end of the journey, so to say, or the idea or the product that they're actually working towards. So
And
I guess that's
yeah.
that's just a simple definition, not really much definition, but explanation of who a product owner is.
Yeah, no, and we all know it's great. Like, you can put everything in theory, one product owner, one scrum master, developers, everyone, self-managing. But I guess what do you see in the most organization? How does it work? Like, what else actually product owner is doing apart of what Scrum Guide is, prescribe them to do?
Yeah, so it is a known, theory that what we read in books is quite different from what we have in organizations, and it's across multiple or different, roles, not only agile or Scrum or product owner. While very good matured organizations and agile practitioners always want to stick to what the Scrum Guide says about who a product owner is, a product owner definitely has so many uh, activities that they undertake. First of all, like I said earlier on, is meant to be one person. That person needs to really be able to own the vision. Now, if the person can own the vision, which means the sponsor say, this is what I want to achieve, and the product owner is able to take the vision to the team, that we can look at that person or that role as the product owner. In organizations, even some organizations that do not follow Scrum do use the role of a product owner. Now, I really want to make it clear here that a product owner is a Scrum role. However, just like you said, Yana, so many organizations use that buzzword and say, oh, a product owner in not so agile team, what does he need to
What
do?
agile, yeah? So what agile?
So in that situation, organizations or people try to borrow those ideas and the responsibilities that a product owner perform within the Scrum team and bring them to life. within the environment they find themselves. Most importantly, getting the vision right and selling the vision to the team members that is going to help them or help him as a product owner or help the sponsor, the customers really get the value delivered. Now, if we really stick to what we have on the screen right now, a product owner need to be able to translate or express the vision and break it down into what we call the PBIs. The PBIs is what we call the product backlog items. With that, which means, well, it doesn't have to really be the one that we say, this is what we need, this is the feature, or this is the story, but it will get people within the team. That is what the Scrum guy called the developers to help him unpack those features and break it down to maybe the lowest level of detail or bigger chunk of work that will be delivered or sliced into smaller uh, deliverables later on. But his work is to make sure that the product backlog is the container that contains all these features. He wants to make sure that it is visible to all the team members, it is transparent enough, and everybody kind of understand as much as they need to understand in that container. So that is what a product owner needs to really do in an organization. Now, I want to really say that when there is conflict, for example, Yana, you watched Nine News yesterday, and you noticed that something needs to change in our big container. That is the product backlog, and you just feel that yes, I need to go to the product backlog and change things. It's not
Mhm.
acceptable because you need to go through the gatekeeper of the backlog. And in this instance, who is the gatekeeper? Is the product owner. Now, everyone can have ideas within the Scrum team, but you need to go through the gatekeeper of the product backlog to really make your ideas stick. When there are conflicting ideas, you have watched the Nine News, I have watched Seven News, and I feel that no, this one is number one, this is number two. Then the product owner can now say, yeah, I'll make my decision. Let's go with one or two. So that's is kind of what I'll put on the table right now because yeah, we can keep on and
When you're
talking and
talking
talking.
about news, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I watch the Channel 9 News and I want to do Pfizer, and I watch the Channel 7 News and I want to do AstraZeneca. So and the
You
product
know,
owner has to deal with it.
he has to deal with it. He has to deal with it. Let's look at the product owner of Victoria as Daniels Andrew at this moment, coming out to say, yeah, this is what the statistics is saying. This is what the insights we are gathering is saying. This is what the analytics is talking to us about. But we need to make this decision at this point in time. Sometimes it is an easy decision. Sometimes it is a hard decision. And we talk more about this as we move ahead.
Yep, yep. We have, I guess, few people joining us. Andrew saying, "Made too much. You're a wonderful fellow. Oh my God, I can't say. Awesome to see you on the stream." um, Marjorie, hi Marjorie, project manager, Scrum Master. Welcome. So here we go. That's the first question about
Wow.
product owner from Prasanna. Does product owner should have domain knowledge?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Prasanna. It is preferable for a product owner to have domain knowledge. Let me just paint a picture to you. You see, I started by saying there is a vision that a product owner needs to run with. Who gives the product owner this vision? It could be the sponsor, it could be the need at the customer. That means is running with the vision of the end user or the vision of the sponsor. That is what that it wants to really deliver. Now, the how to deliver is what the product owner needs to really, really deal with. So if it doesn't have the domain knowledge, how is it going to lead the how? It's not going to lead, it's not going to deliver it all by himself. Definitely, he has the developers or the team members to help him deliver it. but he needs to be able to articulate the the what and help the team navigate the how. And that is where domain knowledge comes into play. Now, if I have two people or two potential product owners, both of them are equally good at what they do. They have the skill set. They are wonderful product owners in the making, but one has a domain knowledge and one doesn't. Obviously, I'll consider the one with domain knowledge because he will be, or he or she will be able to articulate the what in the language that the developers will understand or the team members will understand. So that's how I will answer that question. In some other areas, it may not be the prerequisite, but it is preferable
Yeah.
to have domain knowledge as a product owner.
It's a nice to have, I guess.
Yeah, think about product owner as a subject matter experts, me in a particular area, and they can drive delivery in that area as well.
Yeah. I guess my question would be also how important some technical knowledge for the product owner. Um, yeah, because a lot of those things that you mentioned here, a lot of those things it's about people leadership and good communication skills, obviously, like and understanding the vision and statistics. But what about how technical product owners should be?
Uh, well, my answer to that will be very similar to what I said earlier on. It is very important to have a technical knowledge. Is it a showstopper? No, but of course, if I have two people, one with a technical background in the area of delivery, yeah, it will be a preferred person. Now, there is also a fine line between having a technical knowledge and having the mindset. Remember, product owners are not solo achievers. They should be able to work within the team and lead the team when necessary, and also really really not use what I can call ego in this, for example. So if I can do, I'll use a personal example, or let me just say, if I'm a product owner, for instance, and I've been working in a particular domain, I have technical competence in it, and I can do a particular work, a piece of work in 2 hours, for instance. And the person that needs to do the work within the team is just a rookie who is just coming in and can do it in 8 hours. I'm not going to use my estimation of 2 hours. We are going to use his estimation of 8 hours because he's the one going to work on the task. That
Mhm.
said, which means my technical knowledge is coming in as an impediment at that point in time, and I might be really reflecting an attitude that is not really good towards someone that is doing his best work, and his best work can give us result in 8 hours instead of my best result, which is 2 hours. So you can see it can be a disadvantage sometimes. It can also be an advantage most times as well.
Yeah, but I guess it's a reminder that I guess from the Scrum point of view that it's a self-managed team, and you need to not tell them that it needs to be done in 2 hours. You actually need to listen what they estimate first. Um,
Exactly, exactly. You're right. Product owners, most of the time, do not should not take decisions for the team, especially when they can self-organize themselves, right? So that's a food for thought at that point in time.
and I guess that's actually bring us to the topic of our discussion. Leading versus managing. I guess what's the main difference, and what's a product owner actually need to do?
Well, I would say first of all, let's unpack leading and managing. I'll look at it from from major three areas, from the vision point of view and the process point of view. Then the second one is aligning point of view and organizing point of view. And of course, lastly, quality and position. Now, I have used this word so many times today. It's about vision. Leadership is actually centered on vision. It starts with a vision, the ability to think ahead, the ability to guide the change necessary. Every time we embark on an initiative, it's because we need to change. And sometimes it could be, well, everything is working, but we need to harness the next opportunity. That is where leadership comes in. Now, when we talk about managing, there is always a process in place. All you need to do as a manager is to plug in into that process and drive the change to achieve the goal. Once you implement the process, you will definitely get a result. Now, aligning versus organizing. In that area, what happens is, well, you need to, leadership is about influencing people. Let me put it that way, influencing people to achieve a particular goal. And of course, when we talk about managing is just about, well, focusing on organizing some people, and we want to do that in a coordinated way. That means there is a predetermined action they need to do. If they do it, A plus B plus C, they're going to get the answer D. Now, from the quality point of view, a leader is always looking at getting, quality result at the end of the day, which means it's all about the action that the leader is going to take and which the followership is going to really follow suit. Therefore, it is not about your position, it is not about your title. Now, a manager is definitely a title and has what we call he has a legitimate power associated with it, which means the manager needs to do this, says you should do this, and then you should do this. If you say do that, you have to do that. A leader is a little bit different to that. So that's the distinction between leaders or leading and managing to start with.
And I guess that's I just can't resist. Last week we were talking with Karthik about delivery managers, and I guess we were like a bit lost in the terms, a bit like delivery manager and delivery lead. And I just found this meme as well to all the agile delivery managers managing the agility. so so I think that's to the point. How do you actually manage the agility?
Oh,
We have a we have a question from Trem. So Trem is asking, what is more important, to lead or to manage?
oh, 100% I vote for leading. Wow. Well, some organizations are really, really set up in a highly hierarchical way. And then being a manager in such organizations comes with a lot of power, and then that's how they drive their people to work. However, in such organizations, we can see a few people that really are leaders, which means they lead with influence. They lead with influence instead of really like pushing people. So I would vote as an agile coach for being a leader instead of being a manager. The good thing about roles is roles do not define you. So you can be called a manager, but you have a leader's mindset. And this is what we really, really want to bring up.
I guess Mary is saying managing today is so limiting.
I agree with you. Mary is another person that I respect so, so much. I learn a lot from her. And in fact, she has my back every time. Thank you, Mary. I
um,
agree with you.
I guess my question would be, it's again, like we're talking about, like, Scrum Guide and the theory of leading. But do you think that there will be some situation that the product owner has to manage?
Well, yeah, sometimes there is
Mm-hmm.
situations where a product owner can actually manage because We are looking at a complex adaptive system where we cannot predict what will happen. In such situation, there might be a possibility for the product owner to wear a different hat, and the hat could be like, at this particular point in time, we need to manage. Take for example, if there is a project that has to do with compliance of the government, or that has to do with life or death situation. If we don't do this, something will happen. And if I allow these people as a product owner to self manage, it could really delay things. I can actually speed things up. Now, but that should be the last resort. Last resort,
Yep.
when you know that something is at stake and you really, really need to push people to really um, get the result. And when we look at this, what can a product owner do? It is not for the product owner to have the controlling mindset. No, it's just to be well, to communicate well enough to say, for this particular situation, I need to wear this cap to get the delivery done. It is not about administration of processes and resources. It is not about, being task focused. It is about being people focused, getting the best out of people. And you don't want your people to really do so much such that the following week, all of them say, yeah, I want to go on 2 weeks leave. So you want them to continue to work sustainably. And that is it. Yeah. That is
Yep.
that is what I'll say about that.
Trevor is saying, thank you. That is a good answer. I will do my best to lead with influence.
Yeah,
Um,
TT, honestly, we all are learning every day. So it's easier said than done. But what I can say is what is easy to do is also not easy to do. And how do we get better at managing or at leading with influence? At leading with influence, it's by doing it. There are little opportunities that come in every day. Seize those opportunities, lead with influence, and a bigger opportunity will come later on. You'll also step into that and continue to lead with influence. So that's how to get better. Thank you.
we have so many questions coming up, Pete. So Prasanna is asking, product owners are leaders by managing product within the budget to gain more value. People management is principally out of scope. Am I correct?
Hmm. I don't think you're really correct with this, especially around people management as well. Remember, where we started from is that within a team there are people, right? And despite the fact that people are self-managing themselves, they need to collaborate as well. Now, when you talk about a process of forming a team, there is a time in the life cycle of forming a team that the team is going to get into their deepest level. That is the storming stage. The leadership within the team, and we're talking about the scrum master or the coach and the product owner, most especially, should be able to exhibit their people management skills. So it is in scope. The goal at that point is to spend as little time, as much as possible, as little as possible at the storming stage. Let me quickly go through that. When you put a team together, they're trying to form. Everybody is just like, oh, who is this person? Can I work with Yana? I don't know where she's from. This, and that. And then we try to really look at what we need to work on. And then as soon as we understand what we need to work on to a reasonable extent, we begin to have little conflict because we don't know anybody, we don't know each other before. And that is when we get to that deep end of storming, trying to really see how we can work with each other. Immediately we get out of that, we get to the numbing stage. Now, before we get to the numbing stage, that is where people management is very important so that we can begin to cement our relationship beyond the deliverable, but making sure that we can collaborate very well. Now, when we get to the numbing stage, then things are beginning to normalize. And then before you know it, we get to the performing stage. And then people begin to perform at their utmost, give their utmost performance. And of course, it can only get better from that stage. What could take us back is when things happen. Someone got a better job, leaves, we have to go back. Or a new person joins the team, definitely we have to go back. And until such a point when the project is over and everybody needs to go to their different departments or homes, and then we call that a journey. So that is Bruce Tuckman's model that I just described to you. So people management is not principally out of scope, it is in scope, but POs are leaders that are actually helping to deliver products as soon as practicable, and of course, delivering value as soon as possible as well.
Yeah, so could be, could be a tough gig by the sound of it.
Oh, no, 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 it is a tough gig. So people just think that, yeah, I'll be the product owner and then I'll be the one that own the vision, and then I'll go to the destination to wait for the results. No, there are a lot of things that is involved. A product owner should be available and should be reachable at any point in time to really talk about or answer questions that the team needs. It is also the what I call the representative of the
Yeah.
customer, or the representative of the sponsor, is the mouthpiece of the sponsor to the team. It's not easy at all.
Neil is saying, I agree, product managers should lead while the team will manage itself. Um,
Absolutely.
a gardener is a great metaphor for leadership today, Mary is saying.
I agree
Yes,
with you, Mary.
planting the seeds.
I agree with you, Mary. A gardener is a great metaphor for a leader.
Helen had a question. How do you see the product owner leadership fits with the Scrum Master being the servant leader for the Scrum team?
Let me just understand this question very well. How do you see the product
Mhm.
owner leadership fits? Well, so like I said earlier on, there are three roles in the Scrum team, Khalid, and every role in the Scrum point of view is really well defined. While the Scrum Master could be seen as a leader, like you said, servant leader, the product owner is also a leader in itself, just like the team members lead themselves as well. Now, what the product owner does is that he is the gatekeeper of the product backlog. In the product backlog is what we have the value to be created and the constituent of that value. So if I see a team where the most important things are not done first, I'll be asking the question from the product owner as to what is the most valuable uh, increment that needs to be delivered first. That means the prioritization needs to be done by the product owner with the help of the team, of course. However, the Scrum Master is there to lead from the back of the room, from behind, and help the process. So the Scrum Master is that person that understands the process and can teach the process. It can look for all those pitfalls before the team falls into it. It can be that guy that say, okay, guys, look at this mirror. What are you doing so well that you need to continue? Or what are you not doing so well that you need to stop doing? Or at some point, he has tried his best and he has domain knowledge. He can hold people in the hand and say, follow me. I'll guide you through. That is the servant leader, that is the scrum master. But a person that owns the leadership, especially around the value to be created, around the vision to be worked on, and the process of delivering that is the product owner. So that's how I say the product owner leadership within the team.
And I guess you have a few bullet points here as well for the product owner as a leader.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. So for product owners, it is quite normal to say that they are leaders and not managers, because even the Scrum guide did not say they are managers, right? And so we should see them as leaders. Everyone in the Scrum team is self-managing, is self-leading. Now, I added the second point to say that despite the fact that we see the Scrum Master as a servant leader, the product owner should learn how to behave as a servant leader as well. Because when they do this, that is when they can really get the best out of the team. They let the team self organize. Just imagine a product owner that is always pushing his ideas on the team members. The team members may not be able to think outside the box. Those people may not be able to think outside the box. And to make even matters even well explanatory, the Scrum guide describes the Scrum team as a team with no hierarchy at all. Every team needs to complement each other. Every team member, every role needs to complement each other. So if we want to look at it very well, there is no command and control behavior. There is no space for command and control behavior in the Scrum team. In fact, in the big umbrella of Agile, that is what we frown at. We really do not support that at all.
Look, I just wish everything worked as good in real life as in
Uh,
theory.
I wish there is a real good life like that, that you read everything and then it translates to that. You see, before we begin any initiative or any project, the plan is always straight. If you do start from A and you do B and C and D, you're going to get to F at some point in time. But things happen. You will see that you need to go into the valley and then come climb the mountain. Then the weather can change. It can be raining sometimes, it can be sunny within that journey of going from A to B. And that is where it's the being able to be open to change and making the right decisions comes in. Now, interestingly, we are not afraid of failure. We are saying if you need to fail, fail early and learn from the failures, which means I'm trying something, experimenting, but I don't know what is going to come out of it. If I experiment early enough, I'll learn from the experimentation, whether good or bad. And if it's good, thumbs up. If it's not so good, we reiterate and get a better result. And I will do that in good time as well.
Yeah, I guess the fear of failure, one of the hardest one to overcome, especially when probably then you're starting your career, and then you still have this mindset of you know um, looking good in front of your manager, and making sure not making mistakes and make this first impression.
Mm,
We all know, I guess, that agile ways of working, it's all about the mindset. But it's all about that all the members of the team will share this mindset as well.
mm,
Mary have a comment actually here. Given the team has to help the product owner create the backlog, the product owner needs very good people skills and need to also help create a safe environment for quality contribution. Um, and that's exactly what I guess I've just mentioned about people to be scared to make
exactly,
mistakes
exactly.
when they're
Exactly.
starting out.
Exactly. Mary, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. And back to what you were saying, Yana, one of the problem where we don't really exhibit, um, the opportunity for people to come up with what they think is because of environment. Sometimes it's really not conducive for people to bring up their best ideas. And we call that psychologically safe environment. If there is no psychologically safe environment, people will be so fearful to bring their best idea up, because sometimes it could be a very bad idea. Sometimes it could be very good idea, but if they are so fearful to even bring it up, you won't even know. And so creating a psychologically safe environment is actually a fertile land for agility to grow. Not only that, it is a fertile land for a product owner role, a scrum master role, even the scrum team as a whole, to really plant their seed of value, and it will germinate. So it is very important to have a safe environment. And that is what Mary is actually saying there, that it needs to also help create a safe environment for quality contributions. Because give it or leave it, or take it or leave it, where does the great idea comes from? It's from the people that are
Who
getting their hands
involved? Yeah.
dirty. Exactly. And you know what? These people are smart. And that is why they get the job early, even from the start, And so that environment is very, very important. Not only that, the ability to work together seamlessly, the ability to have that people skill, collaborate, together is very important.
Prasanna is saying, well said, Mary. Correcting myself now. Here we go. Get more clarity, hopefully, after this session as well. David saying, thank you for those clear insights to leading as a product owner. Peter, obviously we can talk forever. There is so many things we can, keep discussing. It's a massive topic, but we're already getting to like a 40 minutes mark. Guys, if you have any further questions to Pete, please make sure to post it in the next few minutes so we can still answer a few more questions. But I guess my last question would be around, just maybe give us some ideas how to become product owner. We obviously talk about role and responsibility, but I guess we have a few people in the audience who, inspired to be product owners, maybe coming from BA or Scrum Masters, or maybe not even from IT industry. So what kind of career paths there? How people can navigate their career to become a product owner?
Oh yeah. First of all, you need to be very sure that you want to become a product owner. So in other words, be careful what you wish for. It is not an easy gig, but it
Yep.
is achievable. You can become one of the most competent product owner you can ever think of. Now, having said that, it starts from the heart. Do I really want to be a product owner? Once you are able to answer that question, there are different pathways to becoming a product owner. One of the pathways is to look at where you work currently. If there is, if you have agile teams, scrum teams, you may want to get involved. And so many times, organizations are looking for very good product owners that have the flair of taking a product from idea level to, reality. People are they're looking for opportunity for people to put on their hands. So that's a good place to start from, and then you can build your competence from there. Another way is, let's say you're working in an organization that, well, agile is not the thing now, or agile is the thing and it's not really being done well, and you need some, background knowledge. A good place to start is to really do, some knowledge gathering, sessions by way of training, and there are also different pathways to that. Currently, am a DASM, or that Discipline Agile Scrum Master, or Senior Scrum Master trainer with PMI. That could actually, open up, unwrap what a product owner does in the real sense of it. And on top of that, you get a certification. There are other pathways, the Scrum Alliance, the Scrum.org. Coincidentally, I am really certified in all of these certifications. So what you can do is probably get in touch with me. I can guide you in the way to go if you really want to go in that journey of having a product owner role. So again, it has to come from the heart, and then there are things you need to do to get there. Just to finish up with this, there is boot camp that I normally do for people that are aspiring to change their career. So the next cohort comes up in October. So that might be something that anyone that is interested might want to get in first, and then you can uh, you can continuously develop yourself. It is a
And it's
journey.
fully online, that course that you're offering?
Yep. It's online, fully
Mhm.
online, and yeah, it's fully online, and we can start from a discovery call from me, and then we guide from there. Now, I need to say this. This is very important before I forget that it is a journey. It is a journey. I have been in the agile space for a number of years, and every time I am learning. My next training is by the third week of September, which means every time I'm learning and relearning and relearning because things are really, really moving at a fast pace, and you know as much as your last training, so to say. So continuous improvement, continuous competence gathering is the key word here. Open to chat with anyone who would like to really go in that direction of product owner competence.
What I guess, what's the prerequisition, like, to become to product owner? Like, what kind of basic knowledge you need to have to even consider, consider this career path? Like, for example,
Uh,
I want to be product owner. Like, I wake up tomorrow, I'm like, yeah, I want to be a product owner. So
yeah, Yana,
can I do it?
I'll be asking you what your knowledge of Scrum at the basic level is.
I
Do
read the
you
Scrum
understand?
guide. I
Well,
read the Scrum guide.
that while that is a good information to have, that is actually not enough. Like we said, competence, domain knowledge is important, technical knowledge is important. Which industry are you working with? Are you looking at, or are you currently working in? All these things we come together to really say, yep, follow that path. So on the basic level, you might want to have the good knowledge of what Scrum is, and on top of that, you may also want to look at different other frameworks under the big umbrella of Agile, so that in case you need to borrow practices from other frameworks, it won't be strange to you. And I don't like to say this. Um, Certifications also give you open your eyes to do it, especially if you are going to classes, not because you want to get a certificate, but you want to really learn. You really want to learn the tricks of the game.
And what do you say, when you like transitioning to career of like product owner? You need to be really passionate about the product itself.
Definitely. How can you lead a product that you don't really have a mind for? Yeah, because look at it this way, you are probably the very first, you are the representation of your product. So if you don't have a heart for it, you just go through the process, drop it, and then off you go, the next one. And that is why you see a lot of product owners, once they deliver the product, how to support it is not their point of view. And a lot of the agile practitioners here will bear me witness. That is why we're saying DevOps is the way, so that at least we can really bridge the gap between development and operations. And if a product owner is able to bring an idea through development and of course drop it in market, it should be able to also take it a little bit further with the same time to support or do operations with it. And that is coming from the heart. Say, this is my baby. I'm going to look after it.
Yep, no, definitely. I probably, I don't know, like, I feel like you don't want to be a product owner, like, don't even go to a position if you're not passionate about the product. Uh,
It could be
I guess,
frustrating.
but I guess if you want to build your career path and you get like offer position, but you don't have this passion for the product, would you recommend still do it for the experience or don't even try?
Well, people get into different things for different reasons. Sometimes people stumble into what they have no knowledge about, but over time they are able to, polish themselves and go in the direction where they like or where their heart is. I would say no knowledge is lost, but if you had a heart for it, your journey will be smoother. Your journey will be will have less bumps on the way. But if you don't have a heart for it, let me say it is easy to fail at what you love. How much more what you don't love? Do you understand that? I love something so passionately, right? It is very, very possible to fail at it. Now, how much more if you don't love it, if you don't like it, the rate of failure will be, of course, higher. And that is where I'm coming from. So it's possible, but again, what is a need for you at the end of the day? Are you going there for knowledge that you're going to take to another place? Or are you going there because it's well paid? Or are you going there because I don't even know where I want to go? Those are questions to
And
ask.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, come like start with the why, I guess. Every time you make decisions like this, we have one more question. Pete, are you happy to answer one more question from Alex?
I'm
And
here
it's a
for you.
quite a specific one. How does a product owner go about managing the backlog?
Interesting question, Alex. Interesting question. Now, I'll go back to the basics. You see, the product owner, like I said earlier on, is in charge of the product backlog. Now, the question is, does he have to know everything on that product backlog? Because if he does know it, we can as well say, oh, go on with the project and give us the outcome. But he cannot do that because probably he doesn't really know everything. For him to manage the backlog, he has to be in continuous discussion with the team. When I say the team, I'm talking about the developers, the people that are actually doing the work. Now, in doing that, he will be able to know which one is a prerequisite. For example, Jana, you are the product owner. You know that what you need to do is to create this glass at the end of the day. But Alex, as a developer, is saying before we create the glass, we need to look for the material. Even if you say the glass, the glass will not happen until we have the material. And so we need you as a product owner need to talk to Alex and prioritize the material first, secure the material, and then we can talk about how to build the product. And that
Maybe we
is
go with
how
ceramic.
exactly. And of course, look at that this way. You've said this is what we want. After 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, we go to the customer, to the stakeholder, and they say, no, that is not what we told you. We actually
And
want
that's
the
what
red
we
and
got.
white. And then you go back and say, okay, now we have failed early. First sprint, we have failed early. Now let's re-strategize. This is what they really want. But we won't know what they want if we wait till the end of the project, 8 months time, and say, now we have a beautiful glass cup here. No, you see, and that is how the product owner goes around managing the backlog, reprioritizing. We use a meeting, which is not really an official meeting in Scrum. We call it a grooming session, a grooming meeting, backlog refinement meeting, or people call it backlog grooming session, which is the example I gave earlier on about 7 news and 9 news. we have a discussion and say, okay, because we heard this last night, something is currently number 10 on our product backlog. Let's bring it up to number 5 because it is now more important. And then something is currently number 3. It is no more important. Let's take it to number 15. And of course, the product owner and the team needs to continuously engage with themselves to get it done. The product owner is the gatekeeper of the product backlog. He is not a manager that says you must do this. Otherwise, it may be setting up, it may be setting the team up for what? For failure. He has to be able to listen. He has to be able to facilitate discussion. He has to be able to correctly articulate what value means to the team. I'll stop there.
I guess that's a really big question. I believe it probably quite a few strategies that you need to cover there. But I hope, Alex, we gave you the good answer, taking consideration our timeline. But what I want to say, Pete is kind enough to continue conversations offline with you guys as well. So I think we have a few really active participants. So what you can do, so how many coffee chats you want to give away, Pete?
For me, I'm open. What keeps me happy is engaging with people. So I'm open.
Guys who've been active in asking questions, like Alex here and Prasanna and Khaled and Trey, there's quite a few of you who've been asking questions. So if you just connect with me on LinkedIn or send me a message on Meetup as well, but easiest way just to connect on LinkedIn. I'll just connect you with Pete as well, and you can have an offline conversation, the virtual coffee chat with Pete, and ask any further questions that occurs than what you have, because we're trying to finish at least by 6:30. We have 3 minutes left to wrap it up. Mary saying, great conversation. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mary, for joining us. Actually, I would love to have you on my live stream too. It's a great audience today. I need more females as well. If you guys know any females, I need to diversify my YouTube channel.
Mary has a platform too, which is very, very good as well. So that's great.
Perfect. And just before we're gonna finish, I just want to remind you that I'm going live every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. So if you're enjoying our discussions, please make sure, to like this video, because obviously it encourages me to keep going and keep bringing, more experts from my network to share their knowledge. So I will really appreciate if you like this video, if you actually got the value. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel to make sure you get notified about upcoming shows. So talking about upcoming shows, next Wednesday, I'm going to talk with Jonathan Melby. He's a career consultant, and we're going to unwrap some top strategies to grow your career in IT. Jonathan been in the industry for a long time. He been IT recruiter before, and he been a career consultant and coach for I don't know how many years now. So definitely worth to join this session if you want to find the new ways and strategies to grow your career. And the week after, we're going to talk with Kanika, and she will give us top tips to avoid burnout in IT industry. Kanika worked for the companies like Google and Amazon, and she definitely has some valuable insights on how to stay sane in a high-paced environment. Prasanna, thank you for Yana for organizing a valuable session, and Pete, you're just awesome, clarified many things. It was so helpful. Thank you, Prasanna. Khaled, thanks a lot, Pete and Yana, for the great session. Great session. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tram. So as I said, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn. Reach out to me or Pete directly. I'll just pop in his email again and LinkedIn profile. So make sure to connect. And Alex saying thank you as well. That was excellent. Thank you so much. And Pete, I guess to put you on the spot, we have last 30 seconds. What is your favorite inspirational quote?
Inspirational what? Quote?
Quote, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can say that, well, I think I've said it today. What is easy to do is also not easy to do. So it's just taking baby steps. I've been running with that for a long period of time. And when I have a decision to make, should I do it? Should I not do it? Yep, it's in my hands. So what is easy to do is also not easy to do.
Great quote, Pete. Thank you so much for tonight's session. So much comments, so much valuable insights. Thank you so much for your time tonight, and we'll see you on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much, Anna. Really enjoyed myself here.
And see everyone. Thank you so much for your comments again.
Yeah. Bye bye.